Good morning, everyone. Hello, my ABM students. I am Ma'am Karen, your organ management teacher, and welcome to our virtual class. We are now on our week 4 of our organization and management. So our topic is environmental forces and environmental scanning. Our objectives is, at the end of the lesson, the students are expected to be able to analyze various forces, elements influencing local and international business environment using PESTEL and SWOT analysis. So before we start our discussion, let's have this activity. The mechanics of the activity is the student will be given 1 minute to arrange the jumbled letters to form and then identify the various elements of environmental scanning. Okay, this will be the 5 words and you have given 1 minute. Your timer starts now. Okay, so your time is up. So let's try to solve or let's try to answer this activity. Number 1. If your answer is business environment, you are correct. Number 2. The answer is microenvironment. And number 3, politico-legal. That is correct. Number 4, socio-cultural. Very good, class. You are correct. And number 5 is technological. That is correct. So, if all of you got the 5 correct answer, you are very good in our review. So let's try this another activity. You are given 1 minute to identify each icon. First icon. Next, broken chain. Next, a man with many arrows. And last, okay? So, you are given 1 minute to identify each icon and you will start now. Okay, class, time is up. Let's try to answer those icons or those pictures. So, number 1 is strength. That is correct. Number 2, a broken chain. So that is weakness. Very good. That is correct. Number 3, yes, that is opportunities. And number 4 will be threats. A very good, class. So this will be our guide questions. So what is SWOT analysis? What is PESTEL analysis? And how do we apply in the business the SWOT and PESTEL strategies? So let's start. So for the review, we have business environment. There are 2 business environment, which is the internal and external environment. So in external environment, we have the micro and macro environment, which includes, in microenvironment, it includes the suppliers of inputs, the customers, marketing intermediaries, competitors, and public. While in macro environment, we have, number 1 is economic situation, political-legal situation, technological environment, we have global and international environment, socio-cultural environment, demographic environment, and natural environment. And also the ecological environment. For the review, okay? What is internal environment? So, internal environment factors refers to factors or elements inside or within the organization that may affect either positively or negatively the performance of the organization. These are the stakeholders, customers, suppliers, pressure groups, investors, employees. So, let's now move on to our next topic. So, in business environment, we have different internal analysis like SWOT and PESTEL analysis. So, we keep on hearing on SWOT analysis. So, what do we mean by SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is a techniques used to determine and define the business strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Kaya nga yung tawag sa kanya is SWOT because S stands for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, and T for threats. This SWOT analysis can be applied to the entire company or organization, or even on individual projects within a single department. Most commonly, SWOT analyses are used by the organizational level to determine how closely the business are aligned with its growth, success benchmark, but they also be used to ascertain how well a particular projects like online advertising campaign is performing according to its initial projections. So we have those things that can be considered as a strength of your company is things your company does well, qualities that separate you from your competitors? Internal resources such as skilled, knowledgeable staff, and tangible assets such as intellectual property, capital, proprietary, and technological. So, this will be the strength of the company. What about weaknesses? Weaknesses are those weaknesses that can be existed in your company. These are the things that your company lacks or things your company lacks. The things your competitors do better than you. And the resource limitations and unclear unique selling proposition. So next is opportunities. So opportunities are those underserved markets for specific products, few competitors in your area. That will be your opportunity. So emerging need for your products or services, and press media coverage of your company. Next is threats. So what are those threats on your company? So your competitors or your emerging competitors is one of your threats. Changing regulatory environment, like laws and other policies of the politicians in your area, negative press and media coverage, and changing customer attitudes towards your company, or changing customers' preferences regarding your product. So that will be your threats. So strengths and weaknesses are internal analysis, while opportunity and threats are external analysis. Let's take a look on the Starbucks SWOT analysis. Their strength, because of Starbucks is a well-known company and a coffee shop, that will be the Starbucks strength. They are number one brand in coffee house segment. Of course, because they are number one, they are strong brand image, and they have a largest coffee house chain in the world. That will be their strength. What about their weaknesses? What is the weaknesses of Starbucks? First weakness is the competitors. Their prices is much higher than its competitors, and that will be the weakness of Starbucks. They have a high price compared to their competitors and negative publicity. So what will be the opportunities of Starbucks? So Starbucks has to extend supplies to its network, increase product offerings, and expansion of retail operation. Because of Starbucks is a number one brand, they extended or expand their supplies to other networks. Their supplies of raw materials like coffee beans. So they have many resources for coffee beans because they are number one brand of coffee house in the country and even globally. So what will be the threat of Starbucks? So the increasing price of the coffee beans and dairy products. So increase in competition from local cafes because of the lower prices of other cafes. So some other customers even like to patronize those lower prices cafe than the Starbucks. The supplies disruptions and product boycott. So that will be the SWOT analysis of Starbucks. So let's try to have this PESTEL analysis. P for political, E for economic, S for social, T for technological, E for environment, and L for legal. So, based on this PESTEL analysis, this includes only the external factors affecting the business environment. Am I right? So, if this is the external factor, a PESTEL analysis is a framework or tool used to analyze and monitor the macro environmental factors. So, on our previous lesson, we identify what are those factors, macro environmental factors affecting the business environment. Okay? So, that may have profound impact on organizations' performance. So, PESTEL analysis is very important because this is connected with the SWOT analysis to arrive on best analysis on your company. Because the SWOT analysis have internal and external analysis, PESTEL analysis only focus on the external part of the business environment. So let's illustrate PESTEL analysis. So P for political. So PESTEL analysis helps the businesses opportunities and identify the significant threat. It guides the direction of change within the business environment and contributes to avoid starting projects that are likely to fail. It can also help loosen up, like for instance, the company plans to enter to a new country, venture to a market or region because it has to see the big picture of the environment. So political is how the government intervene in the company, like global issues, laws and rules which have a direct impact to the business environment. We have the government policies, political stability, the corruption, tax policy, labor law, and trade and restrictions. Next is economic, which is composed of the economic growth, the exchange rate, of course, interest rates and inflation rates, which is directly affected the pricing of the products and will directly contribute to the business environment changes. So we have disposable income and, of course, the unemployment rate. What about S? S stands for social. So, on social, we have the population growth rate, the age distribution. So, from this, we have the career attitudes, the preferences of the customers. We need to know their attitudes, safety emphasis, their health consciousness, lifestyle attitudes, and cultural barriers. Next is technological. Of course, technology really affects business environment. So we have to, if you have a business and you want to be a globally competitive one, you must to follow or go on innovations. So technology, incentives, level of innovations, automation, of course, R&D activity, and technological change and technological awareness are really important in this analysis. Next is environmental. So in environmental, we have the weather, the climate, environmental policies, climate change, pressures from NGOs, and so forth. So last is the legal. So, in legal, we have the laws. What will be the discrimination laws, antitrust laws, employment laws, consumer protection laws, copyright and patent laws, health and safety laws are very much important in our business analysis. So these PESTEL analysis are used by the different businesses to examine or analyze their growth or weaknesses. So let's have an example again for the PESTEL analysis of Starbucks. So Starbucks, on the political side, they need to adhere to fair trade practices on sourcing raw materials. Because the raw materials, the sourcing of inputs, or the suppliers of inputs are very much important. We need to know what is the law that adheres to the fair trade practices. Follow the laws and regulations of countries where Starbucks buy raw materials. So, we will search where the coffee beans came from, if it came from the Philippines or other countries. So, we will adhere and follow those laws on where the raw materials came from. So, next is the economic analysis. So, because of the rising labor and fractional costs, buyers shift to cheaper coffees due to economic recession. Like today, we have a pandemic, there is an economic recession. Also, Starbucks use some resources to sort some cheaper coffees that is also have a best quality to give. Social. So, they are, of course, focuses on consumer preferences. Who likes coffee? What kind of coffee they likes? So, the changes in life is also important, and the work patterns of populations. So, we must know the age, the demographic profile of the customers. So, they are tapping the Gen X and the millennials as customers. So, they innovate their products through coffee with ice or others. Okay? So, technological and legal and environmental analysis. So, this is enabling mobile payments. So, like now, all payments is through online. So, they are also enabling those payments for the consumers to buy their products, automatically pay their products without going to the store. So, staying alert about introduction of caffeine production and consumption related policies by health authorities and environmental rules and regulations. So, these analyses are very important in the company. Before we end up our discussions, so let's have this evaluation. You are given 1 minute to analyze and identify each item using SWOT analysis. Write S for strength, weakness for W for weakness, O for opportunity, and T for threats. You are given 5 questions and you have 1 minute to answer those questions. Your timer starts now. Okay, so class, your time is up. So let's try to answer those 5 questions. So a change in customer likes and interests may be seen as opportunity. So internal things that may limit a company's ability to achieve its goal would be known as weakness of the company. So if you are conducting a SWOT analysis and find out that a new competitor is opening within 5 miles of your store, this would be considered as a threat. Very good. Number 4, by identifying your opportunities, this will help you overcome potential threat. That is good. So number 5, elements in the environment that could cause trouble for the business are, yes, very good. That is also a threat. Do you have any question, class? So if there is no questions, again, I am Ma'am Karen. Thank you for listening. God bless and always be safe, everyone.